What's up, space engineers? I'm Motherfucker Jones, and I welcome you to a slow video. No, it's not your computer, or whatever device you're on that's running this and watching this is fine. It's just my download got corrupted and the frames per second suffered, so I slowed down the video just a tad in order to make it, watchable. Anyway, here is the Omnibellum. And this is quite a special cruiser that I made because it has a fancy little automated welding system for the weapons in there, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But first, we're going to go ahead and look at the defenses on the ship, or offenses rather. You got 4 rocket turrets on each side, so that's 8 rocket turrets, 8 Gatling turrets on each side in the front. You've got a bunch of interior turrets on the top. I probably could go half as many interior turrets on the top there, but this is my lobby, so I mean, you could probably cut away a bunch of those interior turrets and save yourself some PCU. If you wanted to, you have 2 antennas at the front, but there also is a laser antenna there, and that is followed up by 5 more Gatling turrets, and 2 of them tucked between the valleys there for the hydrogen thrusters. I keep saying engines. I actually said thrusters this time. Sweet. Anyway, here are the side thrusters, and you see there's bottom thrusters, and as you saw from the top, there are top thrusters way back there. Just some small ones for the top. But exposed on the outside, where are the front thrusters? I don't see them, right? Don't go crazy. There are right here. No? Aha! Right. And believe it or not, this armor casing does not burn at full thrust. So this is probably key of why this ship's so lightweight too, because it doesn't, it doesn't fill up that whole thing full of armor. You got a big old void space there. Anyway, that's the thrusters. That's the guns. You got, guns basically placed everywhere for good defense and assault purposes. Got a small hangar there that fits a few fighters and small ships. Nothing too large at all. Smallest of the sizes really only go in there. Here is the missile silo. It's dark because you don't really want people seeing what you're firing or what you got hidden away in here. You got some gyros tucked away down there. Interior turrets to keep pesky people from, coming right through the front gates or whatever have you. And then this is pretty cool. This is the missile welding system, and we'll get to that in a second. But let's continue through the rest of the ship first, just so you're not left wondering, yeah, but what about the rest of the ship? Yeah, here it is. You got 6 cryopods all connected up, 3 on each side. Interior turret right there for the front door. I think another interior turret, yep, there for the rear door into the hangar. And that's the projector to overlap the ship so you can take out your welder and repair anything without even having to place the blocks. You guys all know about that, I'm sure. You can just make that projector, make the blueprint of this exact ship, and it will basically, give you instant welding access. Anyway, I got 2 medical centers, one upside down. If you don't like that one, you got the right side up one. O2 H2 generators on both sides so you can put your bottles in here and refuel from the ship. Got yourself a little bit of a personal storage there for ammo or whatever. It's always nice to have, right? Going upstairs again, you got a little bit of a deck just for, like a pre-deck into the bridge or whatever. And then you can go ahead and just have yourself a seat on the couch and say, alright, Captain, ready to go. No, not really. I mean, if you were a passenger, yeah, but if you were a missile crew guy, you'd be there controlling the missiles and ready to hop out of your seat and go to the front and weld up a new missile. The windows here are all double glassed, even the one above us. That seems like a big hole in the roof. That is actually 3x3 glass on 2 layers, so on the inside and outside. If you jump, you'd just hit your head on glass right there. So yeah, going through the rest of the ship here, we hit the button on the right side to open up the doors into the hangar. The hangar is also airtight if you have those doors closed. And we have a jump drive up there, and we've got ourselves the engineering maintenance access back here that gets you to the large reactor. Conveyor there to convey it up to the rest of the ship. You got a small container for storage for maybe ingots if you wanted more storage. You got more batteries, your grav generator, gyros, and this is the assembler face, so you can go in here and access that manually, but there's actually two of them on there. If you saw, this is number 2. You have 2 assemblers moduled up on the bottom. Not many modules on there, so it's not as fast, but you can probably get rid of the gyros on the top and maybe add some more, maybe even get rid of the batteries. Yes, I think there's also 2 basic refineries on this as well. I'm sure they're in there. I think you just saw them anyway. Going back to there. Got the air vents pressurizing. And you got control with the doors there. Just open those up. Oh, whoops. Why did I close this one? Yeah. Just go out around here. Underneath you got 4 large thrusters there, and then a good column of thrusters in the middle. Connector there. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to actually use this thing. So first of all, the gravity of the ship ends at this door. So right here you get gravity. Right here it's gone. So gravity, gone. Gravity, gone. Right? You don't really want gravity in here. Unless you're trying to make a gravity missile, which that's good that you don't have gravity in there. So that when you put artificial gravity generators, this could be converted into a grav shotgun or whatever you wanted to call it. But anyway, here's the actuating control panel. This one turns on the rotor. The other buttons are to like reverse it and are like manual controls in case the automated system gets stuck. So then the missile tech turns on the welder and then he pushes the arm out and it welds it up. Well, it would if the missile tech was competent enough to realize that the projector needs to be attached to your projection with a frame of some sort. So the best kind of frames I like to use are the 2x1x1 slopes or whatever they are, because they're super small and I think they only cost yeah, you also need your lights on in here. I think they only cost about 7 steel plates. Yeah, 7 steel plates. That's all you need for one of these. So you just got to make sure you put one of these on the orientation. Well, I like to put it on the orientation of the left and right compared to the notch, which is on the top of the missile, because the remote control has an orientation on it. So if you wanted to like know which way the hell is the top of the missile, it's actually where the connector is. So the connector facing up is the top. Yeah, I'll eventually get this thing welded up. Just wait. It won't let me place it there because there's not enough room. So let's see if I can rotate it quick enough. Oh, wrong way. Oh, there we go. Ninja. Alright. See, now it's all white. You can hit the welders back on, and boom, boom, boom. Got your thruster, you got your tank, you got the sensor, you got the rotor, you got the connector, everything. Basically. And then you press that piston out again, and it basically welds up the thing. I've tried to get the feeds right to where the piston travels through the projection and welds it up completely, but sometimes it just misses parts, you know. I can't, I don't want to go any slower on the rotor because then it just seems like it's not even moving, and that just, I don't know, it doesn't seem right how slow it is, so, I don't know. Just have your missile tech have parts in here, you know, steel plates, grids, stuff like that, anything you can make from the assemblers on board the ship that could be popped in right in those containers. Make sure you got your missile welded up here. Oops, see, missed a few spots there. Now we come back here, and we retract that arm back in because that's what's actually going to latch the missile to the ship. So what we do is we want to orientate that top part down, because the connector here on the bottom of the arm will line up with the connector on the top of the gigaton, which is now flipped upside down. There we go. We come over to the right side panel and hit number 4, which locks the connector, so your missile is now connected to the ship through the connector. And turn off the projection with 3, turn off the welders with 1, and you basically have a gigaton. Now you gotta do is really communicate with it. You gotta take off the large rotor part there, because it's useless to us, because what we want to do is we want to go ahead and put a small rotor part there. So we gotta go into the control panel, type in rotor in the search bar just to help us find it better. And we're going to go ahead and down and hit add small rotor head. And then the missile tech would come in here, he'd weld it up because it wouldn't be finished like that, it'd be frame form in survival. And then he goes ahead and he has the materials for a small grade antenna, because it fits much better on a missile like this. And then we go into the control panel, we type in ANT, just for short for antenna. We search up the antenna and let's give it a name. Let's give this thing the name of Giga 1. And we're going to increase the range to maximum to give this weapon maximum effectiveness. So let's say if our target was out there at 50,000 kilometers, can we hit it? Yes, we can. So what we do is our missile tech, basically, if this is a one-man operated ship, has to now go through here and get into a seat, which allows him to communicate through the antenna via the ship to the gigaton with the Wi-Fi antennas, or whatever you want to call them. And we're going to go ahead and search up remote to help us find the gigaton remote, and we're going to control the remote. Now we have to set up our hotkeys. I do have a version of this missile set up with hotkeys already installed, but this version that's set up on the blueprint is not for this specific reason, because the top one we want to set up with the camera, the right or the left one. Actually, the orientation doesn't really matter. What does matter is that when you set up the connector, it's important that you don't set it up to switch lock. You actually want that to turn off so that there's no residual grabbing force in case the missile was left there on standby for too long and then you tried to click forward, it would try to re-grab. You know how connectors are. And then the bottom, we want to go ahead to groups and go to the gigaton load and click the on-off arm warhead. And then, just to be a little safe, we're actually going to extend the missile out of the front of the silo using that arm that built the missile itself. So it's going to give us a little bit more clearance out the mouth. You can fire the missile without extending it if you wanted to for a quick fire, but just for safety, we go ahead and extend it all the way out there. It looks like it's at max extend, right about there. Yep. So it just gives us a little bit more room out the mouth, so that when you turn it, you don't accidentally clip the back of it, and then the whole thing's done because you lost the tank and the thruster and all that. So anyway, on to the fun part. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we got all of our settings there. Yep, camera, connector. Got the thruster and the load all set up. Cool, cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the thruster on, and we're going to turn the connector off. So thruster on, boop, connector off, and we're going to go ahead and just push this thing out a little bit slowly. You could full thrust it if you wanted to. I've tested it. You could just push it out as soon as you wanted to, but we're actually going to reorientate the direction of this missile to turn towards the moon below us. So now that we know we're free and clear, we don't even have to do that. We would know we're free and clear basically the second we get out of there, but we're going to just go ahead and turn around, and I'm going to try and hit some of these ships down here that I've had parked up, if I can. I made these ships. Oh crap, but since I made these ships, I have to now turn the stock sensor settings, which are not turned on to detect friendlies for obvious reasons. And maybe detect owners, since those are my grids. Oh, crap, did you hear that? I think the sensor just turned on. I think it's detecting this grid. That's not good. If I arm the warhead, this thing's going to explode in midair. We can't have that. So let me quickly fix that. Okay, alright, where's my target? There's my target. Alright, where's my circle? There's my circle. Okay, that's not good. Come on. Circle should be following my target. We're going to hit it. Nope. Nope, even the targeting computer is telling me to pull up. I am not going to hit the... I'm not going to hit my target. Well, obviously the computer actually isn't telling me where the target is, but it does help. You could see that just following the circle helps. Unless you're a dumb pilot like Jones who doesn't set up everything before launching the missile. But that's okay, because now you could just go ahead and come down here and do it all over again. Yay! I planned that. Not really. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you coming by. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more stuff that I'm doing, and maybe the next weapon I showcase won't fail. See you next time.